How's everyone doing today? This is Horace from Focus with Horace Frame by Frame. We do what we usually do here. We're talking about photography and videography. Lots of times we delve into the industry, talk about the photographer, the videographer, sorry, and we try to dive into that world and see what the thing's about. To keep that stuff usual, we're doing the same thing again today with Mr. Orville Wright. He's here today with us. Talks about photography and videography, how he sees it, and how he thinks the industry's going, what it's about. Dive into his life, ask some questions, try not to get too personal, maybe have a good conversation, okay? How you doing today, Orville?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain, Horace. Thanks for having me.
Great. I'm actually glad I was able to speak to you. All right.
Definitely.
I'm gonna jump right in. Try to talk to you about what we're here to talk about. How do you describe yourself as a photographer / videographer?
Okay, so my approach to photography and videography, I try to have a good time in every photo shoot and event or wedding that I'm shooting.
Yes.
Try not to make it too, what's the word? I don't want to make the clients feel like they're under pressure, So I always try to do whatever I can to relieve the pressure, make them have fun. That way they can be relaxed, and that's the approach I usually go for when I'm shooting.
All right. You believe happy customers make good pictures?
One more time, please.
You believe happy customers make good pictures? You think being happy, encouraging the talent of the model, you think making them laugh and smile, that creates good pictures?
It's funny because it all depends on the model that you're working with. I mean, if you're working with a professional, you expect them to come in, they have the mindset, they know what they're here to do. But if it's somebody that's never been in front of a camera before, the first thing you got to do is help them unwind. Because right off the back, they're going to be, uptight, they're going to be stiff. So what I do is a lot of little lights breakers. So I tend to ask clients things like, let me see your smile. Is that the biggest smile you do? All right, let me see your fake smile. And then I'll say something like, okay, let me see the ugliest smile you can make. And then, it just kind of sets the tone for fun, So they're not so uptight and they're laughing. And then I was like, that's what I want. And I have a mirror usually that's behind me. So as I'm shooting, my clients can see themselves. But this is for photo shoots, of course. So I say, you see that smile there? That's the smile I want when we're shooting. So.
That sounds great. It sounds great. It seems like photography is a fun job. I don't know. Myself.
Definitely. Every session is different. Every client is different. It's always fun.
It's always fun. I found it to be true. So why do you think it's so? Why do you think that's the norm right now?
I'm sorry. One more time, sir.
Why do you think it's fun? What makes photography fun for people? Ever thought about that?
What's funny? I mean, for each their own. There are some people that are in it for the money, some people in it for the art. I'm definitely in it for the art. And I go with the mindset, I'm just creating art and having fun. And I am, of course, capturing memories for whoever the client is. But again, it's all in the approach. I know a lot of talented photographers who clients that I've done photography for that say they've gone to another person and they'll tell me, oh, they're really good, but their attitude stinks. And it kind of deters them from even working with them. So your attitude and your demeanor goes along with, your shooting. And you can have all the talents in the world. It's like being a model who's beautiful, but if your attitude stinks, nobody's not going to want to work with you.
I feel that the photographer has a lot to do with the outcome of the pictures. There's times where you have control, you have influence, you have input into how the session goes. Like I find that the photographer can affect the mood of your clients. There's either the smile, as well as the tone, or your demeanor. Is that what you're saying?
Did you say that? I'm sorry because somebody was chiming in as well. I had to stop it. You said, can you repeat the question again?
Question is, you said that the last times that the customers talk about the demeanor and the approach of the photographer. I said the photographer is not like the photographer is outside the situation. He's part of the photography. He's part of the shoot. You have an input and your impact on what happens during the shoot.
I'm sorry, bro. You're cutting out. The last part of the question, I didn't even hear it. It was cutting out.
All right. I'm gonna leave the question alone. Try to a couple another point.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna talk into what's going on right now.
Okay.
How has the pandemic affected your business personality and your business wise? How has the pandemic affected you? What changes have you had to make?
Okay. Well, Being that I'm an event photographer as well as a wedding photographer and videographer,
Yeah,
we've been going through this pandemic for what, 2 to 3 months now.
yeah, that's a good
You
one.
know, pretty much all, if not about 99% of all of the bookings that I've had were, either, well, I wouldn't even say cancel, but we will have to postpone pretty much all of them to a later date because, of course, you can't really be in proximity of your clients. They say it's what, 6 feet. There's
Sweet.
no way that you can be 6 feet from your client at all time. There's going to be some type of interaction. Sometimes you may have to fix something on a client, maybe their clothing or maybe a hair is out of place or something like that. When you're shooting, there's no way of being 6 feet away. So it's definitely impacted in terms of safety. Sometimes on the clients and some didn't want to come in to do the shoots, even though we offered one-on-one sessions. I mean, I didn't feel comfortable doing sessions during this whole thing, of course, too, because I have a family and I didn't want to risk, somebody infecting me and then in turns I infect them, So a lot of events that we had lined up also were canceled because there were, of course, a numerous amount of people that would be there for the events. And for one, I don't think nobody wanted to take the chance of coming to maybe a birthday party or even a wedding with this whole pandemic going on. So it definitely affected us hard. So it's a good thing to save. Don't spend all your riches.
So I guess you're saving that's helping out right now. Is that the truth? That you're
So,
actually saving that's helping out?
one more time, sir.
You were saving and that's actually helping out right now? Is that what
Oh,
happened?
yes, most definitely. So my approach was, I invest in the equipment and everything we need for the business. Now everything is just income that's coming on in.
Yeah.
Save all of that for the rainy day, and this pandemic was definitely the rainy day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you have any staff to take care of?
Personally, it's me and my wife, and I do have some people that help me depending on the severity or how big the job is. But for the most part, it's just me and my wife.
Sounds like a family business then, right?
Yes, definitely.
You agree with the theory that to support small businesses in the city?
Oh, most definitely. Of course. Of course. I mean, they have those big corporations. I think they're well off, but we have it a little bit harder because we have to do a lot more groundwork in terms of advertising, getting people to know about us, keeping up that rapport. It's definitely harder for small business or family businesses, so support your small business.
I'm a small business too, and I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your new normal like? What does it look like right now? Your new normal. Your schedule, has your schedule changed? What you plan to keep after the pandemic? What's your new normal like right now?
So the new norm right now for us is a lot of advertising, so that when hopefully the government will give us the green light, so that we can reopen. Because as you know, I guess we would have fell under the small business for media, but I was told that if you're not an actual media company that broadcasts news or facilitates newspapers, then you're not really considered non-essential. I mean, you're not really essential. So right now, what I've been doing is just advertising a lot the services that we've done in the past, and what we are going to be doing again, hopefully, when they give us the green light that we can open up the doors to the public. Because if you don't stay relevant, people easily forget about you. So you've got to stay relevant, even in the times that people are home. This is the best time to start advertising. Advertise. Because people are on their social media. If they're not on Netflix and Hulu, if they're not helping their kids with homework, they're definitely on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and all those other social media mediums. So you definitely want to advertise a lot so that people know that you're still out there, you're still doing this. And then again, when they get the green light, go full steam ahead, start shooting again.
Do you agree with how the governor started the pause? And do you agree how he's keeping it longer? Do you agree he started it? And do you agree where he plans to end it? Do you agree with that?
I agree that it was the right decision to do it. I mean, I don't think we'll really know whether he should have started it earlier, or I mean, I definitely believe that I don't know, because I've been hearing that there's going to be a second wave that may end up being worse than the first wave, um, because we don't really have specific guidelines for each business. How are we going to keep ourselves safe, and how are we going to keep the client safe? We don't have specific guidelines. I feel like the government should tell us how we can keep each other safe when we reopen our businesses. But I mean, I think it's going to be tough for them because each business is different. How, some businesses are really hands-on, and for us, I think we have a strategy in which we know we can keep our clients safe and keep us safe. When clients come in, we can maintain a safe distance. If they have someone to assist them, I guess they will know who they're bringing with them and who they can trust in their personal space, and we'll, of course, continue to give our clients personal space so they can feel safe.
Okay, sounds great. Back to photography. How did you start photography? Did you get any schooling, any classes, mentors, or anything like that?
Okay, so how did I start? I got my first camera from my mom, a 35mm Minolta camera when I was young. And this is maybe around 13, 14.
Right.
Of course, you're into photography, of course. Yeah, you're a professional. So yeah, the 35mm, with the whole, the film you have to put in the back and reel it out and then close the back of the film. And, I was taking pictures of everything, anything, everyone. It was fun for me back then. I had rolls on top of rolls. Hundreds and hundreds of rolls. I would just take pictures. Sometimes I wouldn't even develop them. It was just taking pictures. And again, it started off as a hobby. And then a lot of people said that my photography was good growing up. And, some people would say, yo, I can see you doing this as a job, like a full-time job. And, I had a regular job otherwise, but there's always that fear to step out on your own and think, am I going to succeed if I step out and do this full time? And I had a lot of people in my corner that pushed me and said, listen, maybe you should just try it. You should just try it. If you fail, you fail, but at least you tried. But if you don't try, you'll always have it in the back of your head, man, 5-10 years from now, I'd be like, Dag, I wish I would have started this business. And at least I know I started it and failed, rather than just keep having the dream and not having fulfilled. So we definitely stepped out on faith and was just like, listen, we're going to start this. I started doing photo shoots in our kitchen in our home. And then we started to do photo shoots in our living room. And then it just progressed where we said, listen, let's try and get our own space. And we've had our own studio space here in the Bronx on Eastchester Road for going on 6 years now. And there's no turning back. We're going still full steam ahead, We've been blessed and fortunate. Jobs keep coming in, I will admit that it was rough at first when we first got our tangible studio, because it's like you're starting from the ground up again. You got to build a clientele in the community, and the word has to get out. And thankfully, we had a strong social media presence, so that really translated into getting more business and people spreading the word for us.
That sounds great. It's a good story.
Yeah.
What part of the story you said it's better to say that regret is worse than failure. Feeling of regret is worse than the feeling of failure. Do you agree with that?
Regret is worse than failure. I definitely agree with that because again, you won't really know until you step out and try to see if the vision that you have will be fulfilled. And sometimes people are looking for overnight success, and it doesn't happen overnight. I'm definitely a testament to that. It took us a long time to reach where we were or where we are now. And at first, trust me, that maybe that first or second year we opened the studio, we were just like, I wonder if this was the right decision. Because honestly, we were losing more money than we were gaining. And then it got to a point where there was a plateau and, it started to look on the up and up. And then, we started to make a profit, So then it's like, but when you're in the beginning phases, you ain't seeing the profit. And it's just like, oh my God, was this the wrong decision, So yeah, at first you regret it. But then as time goes on, if you're consistent, you're hardworking, you make your work show for itself, people start talking about it and spreading the news, you know, it becomes a snowball from there in a positive direction.
All right. Great. So I want to go to the photo segment.
Okay.
We can discuss the photos, and you can give me a sample of it works.
Sounds good.
I put my pictures in here. Then we're going to go on. All right. All right. Let's get this to work. We'll get this to work.
Okay.
Can you see me?
I can
What do you
see
see?
you, but I only see you, and what happens is the screen. Let me see if I can pin this. Oh, there we
Can you
go.
see it?
I can see the picture. Yeah, I can see the pictures.
All right. Tell us what this one's about. This one's your photo. Tell us what this one's about.
Okay, so this is basically in studio photo shoot. This young lady, it was for her birthday, and this is one of my most recent works. I like this photo. It stands out because, I mean, she has professional makeup done by one of our makeup artists here at our studio. But I
Right.
really like this photo just because she has braces. And a lot of young girls and sometimes guys, they feel that because they have braces, they don't like to show their smile. And this
Yeah.
particular young lady, she was very confident. And I felt like she had real natural beauty to go along with it and to complement, you know, in this session. It was really cool. She had fun. She definitely had fun in this session. In terms of lighting, I like to play with color gels. I like to play with colors depending on the theme of the shoot and whatever the client is wearing. So if you see to the left and the right, this was actually a white background. And what I used was color gels to illuminate that purple hue, pinkish purple hue, just to complement the outfit that she had on and also go along with the makeup that she had on too.
The color gels, are those light?
So there are different techniques for color gels. You can do strobes with, basically it's like a plane of, it looks like clear colored, or maybe a plastic colored paper that you put over your lights.
The filter?
Or filter, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds great. I like that picture a lot. I agree with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go for one of mine, okay?
Sure.
How about that one? You
That's
see
pretty
it?
cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like that's actually at the Guggenheim Museum.
Okay.
I took a trip down there Saturdays. It's free from 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Get down there. There's a line that goes around the block. So wait online. I had to pick early, so I wasn't too far in the back. I just talked to people. I was taking pictures while I was online. I was talking to people, just giving my business card, things like that. And one of the first pictures I took. I look around to see. I was kind of there for the artwork of the displays. But I kind of took my time to look around and see what else I could see. I looked up, I like the skylight. I saw how the rotunda kind of spiraled around towards the top. You see the skylight. So I kind of looked up.
It's really nice.
18 millimeters, because it was kind of close. It was kind of close to the first level, was kind of close to you. So it was 18 millimeter. And I took that picture, and I like the way it came out. I kind of posted it.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like the way how the lines are wrapping around in that circular angle. It's really nice. Definitely, I like the composition. Definitely, and I like the exposure as well. It's not too over bright. You know, like sometimes when the light is coming through, like the windows and stuff like that. It looks really good. Looks really good.
Thanks.
Definitely, good job, sir.
What's the first thing you do when you get to Photoshop or Lightroom? What's the first thing you do to your photos when you edit them?
So to tell you the truth, I know a lot of people that swear by Lightroom. To tell you the truth, I don't use Lightroom. I do everything in Photoshop.
Everything in Photoshop. All right.
Yeah.
Is Photoshop slower workflow wise?
One more time, sir.
Isn't Photoshop a little slower workflow wise?
No.
You can get 30 pictures in a Lightroom done in like a few minutes.
I mean, so for me, it depends on what I'm editing. If I'm doing wedding photography, I would prefer everything in Photoshop. All right, are you familiar with actions in Photoshop?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so you can create specific actions. What basically
it's like a template towards
It's kind of like templates, but it's more like you press a button and it allows you to. It's like macros. So it depends on what you want to do. So I have macros depending on how I'm working on the photo. So for Lightroom, I mean, I guess there's presets that are in Lightroom. I mean, I know photographers that swear by Lightroom. They only edit in Lightroom. For me, I've been using Photoshop since the first version. So I'm stuck on Photoshop. You know, I know the ins and out of Photoshop, you know? So since CS1, yeah. Mm-hmm.
CS1?
Yeah,
That's like
the
98?
original of Photoshop. I mean, from back in the day, before it was considered like CS, just Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Photoshop is like a verb now.
Right?
It's a program. It's a verb. It's like Google. Like Google's a verb too.
Mm-hmm. Now you got clients that be
Actually,
like,
Google.
"Are you gonna Photoshop me?" I'd be like, "What does that mean?" For
Right.
real.
All right, Mr. McGraw. What can you see right now, Coach? What can you see?
Let's see. I see me, I see you, and
All
Mr.
right,
Angel.
I'm gonna go back and get some other more photos. Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious about who this guy is. Let me see. Let's do this one. All right, who's this?
Oh, okay. So we had the honor and privileges of doing the official headshots for the NYC commissioner who was sworn in from the mayor. This was on the news and everything. He's the ACS NYC commissioner, David Hansel.
All
Pretty
right.
cool guy. We went down to his office in the city and we did these headshots for him. They needed it for the official city website. Also, when he was sworn in, they needed something to send out a press release, so we had the privilege of doing that. Yeah. So the backdrop that you see there, that was actually in his office. He had two flags. We just kind of put the two flags behind him. This was a 2-light setup. We did Octobox on his left, and we had a filler light all at the bottom, just to kind of spruce up the highlights a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Definitely a
good.
nice session. Yeah.
All right. What's on one? All right, this looks nice. That's very like the gold. Like the
Oh,
gold.
yeah. So this was a wedding that we did for this couple here. This was one of 3 days of their wedding ceremony. This was their traditional wedding day ceremony and in their temple. Beautiful, beautiful wedding. As you could see, they put a lot of detail into the outfits, and it was hard. It was easy to shoot them. They were definitely in love, of course, as you could see, or I guess they wouldn't be married.
Yeah.
In terms of lighting, due to the lighting that was in the building there, which was a strong yellow hue, I had to bring my own lighting just to compensate that, just to control the lighting that I wanted
Oh,
for the
okay.
photography.
Are you done?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do this one. love this technique. I don't hear what you think about it.
Oh,
Not mine.
long
Yeah,
exposures.
yeah, long
Definitely cool.
exposures at night.
Yeah, I like
That
long exposure
was
photography. That's pretty
this
cool.
picture like that. This picture is the day I took this picture. Started out maybe afternoon, like around 4 or 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get down to South Street Seaport to catch her New Jersey. That's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
That's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Nice.
So we went down there. We took all day. Got some eat. We walked around, taking pictures the whole time. And at the night, as a technique, I was learning how to use it. So I want to try this night. Cars in the streets packed with cars. And you try to do this. I set the tripod I brought with me down to the camera. It was 1 second actually. It was 1 second at 100 ISO.
Okay.
And this is what I used. Aperture is like around, it might be set standard like around 4.0. But this is what I did. I used that, and I did it. I took a couple shots. This is one of the shots I like. It was like a technique. I'm gonna try to do it again. Like, a nice shot. We place to go at night and do it again. It's fun to do. I like the way it comes out.
How low was the camera? Was it like chest level or waist level? Because it looks like
It
it
was
was
chest level.
angled upwards. Oh, chest level. Okay. It's
Yeah,
really nice. Really good shot. Yeah, I like
yeah.
the streaks there. Was your shutter speed really, really, really slow?
1 second.
Yes. Oh, you said one
You hear me?
second. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1
that's
second.
good. That's really cool. Like the technique there. Good stuff, bro.
All right. 1 second. I'm gonna do something else right now. All right. Am I back?
Yep.
Can you see
See
me?
you.
All right, Coach A. It's been great talking
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I just want to know, is there anything you want to say to the guests, the viewers? Anything you want to say about yourself, about photography? Anything, any message you want to leave? Just obviously, it's your chance, it's your floor, it's your chance to speak.
Okay, cool. Definitely. Once again, I just want to thank you for having me, Horace. It was great talking to you. What I will say to those that are, really in love with photography, if you have a strong passion for it, go for it. Just continue to gain knowledge, because that's definitely important when it comes to photography. You can have the best camera ever and not know how to use it. You can have the greatest lighting equipment that money can buy, but if you don't know how to use it, it means absolutely nothing. So try to gain as much knowledge as you can about photography. How can we be reached if you want to experience the Coche Productions experience? Our studio is located at 3052 East Chester Road in the Bronx, 10469 between Hammersley and AD Avenue. You can visit us on our website, www.cocheproduction.com. That is COCHE, the word productions.com. You can visit our Instagram page. It is Coche Productions. And we have a second one, which is C0CHE as well. Facebook, you can look us up, Coche Productions, or my name is Orville Anthony Wright. You can find me that way. If you want my telephone number, it is 646-645-8030. You can call me if you would like some more information, or if you would like to book with us at Coche Production Studio. Once again, thank you for having me.
Coach A, I'm glad you were here. I hope they probably enjoyed speaking to you.
All right, bro.
Just what you said, equipment is important, but it can't be better than you're working yourself. That's the X factor. The X factor is what you can do now, how you handle the equipment. The cameras can take pictures by themselves. I think that's the truth to walk away with. That's the truth to walk away with. Again, this is Horace from the Focus with Horace, Frame by Frame. Good afternoon, so the Coche, Mr. Orville Anthony Wright. Scattered to his world, saw some of his work, his ideas about life, about photography, about the pandemic. And I'm glad that I was able to talk to him. So we'll talk personally some other time. Officially on the news, on the show, that's it. So advise everybody, enjoy your times of the rest of the day, rest of your life, and we'll see you again later. Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
All right.